you covered in Princeton and surrounding areas. Call Wallace Towing and Recovery. Check them out on Facebook, and when you need a tow or roadside help, call Wallace Towing and Recovery at 270-963-9081.
Get into shape and feel good at Trilogy Performance Sports. Trilogy is a family-friendly environment that offers a wide range of classes to reach your fitness and well-being goals. Whether you're into yoga, gymnastics, sports training, team training, cardio, kickboxing, or weightlifting, Trilogy has something for the whole family. Family discounts available, and your first 2 weeks are free. Located in Princeton behind Cash Express. Be better than you used to be at Trilogy Performance Sports. It's time to stop smoking once and for all by attending the next Mark Patrick Hypnosis Seminar in Hopkinsville. In just 2 hours, you can finally become a lifelong non-smoker. Regardless of your past experience or how long you've been smoking, this program is designed so you can stop smoking without anxiety, irritability, or gaining any weight. For only $49.99, you can become a non-smoker through hypnosis. Thursday, September 12th at the Holiday Inn Hotel, 2910 Fort Campbell Boulevard in Hopkinsville from 8 to 10 p.m. Registration starts at 7:30. Seating is limited, so get there early to reserve your spot. All forms of payment are accepted, or for more information, go to markpatrickseminars.com. Over 500,000 have attended their program. Try it. It can work for you. Almost everyone knows someone who has stopped smoking using hypnosis. Now that someone can be you. Attend the Mark Patrick Seminar Thursday, September 12th at the Holiday Inn Hotel, 2910 Fort Campbell Boulevard in Hopkinsville, and use the power of hypnosis to stop smoking now.
Here is a reminder from your Princeton Electric Plant Board. Tampering with an electric meter is dishonest, dangerous, and against the law. If you steal electricity by tampering with an electric meter, you risk arrest and your life. Tampering with meters results in increased utility bills that everyone has to pay. If you see anyone tampering with a meter, please call Princeton Electric Plant Board right away at 270-365-2031. Princeton Electric Plant Board, Princeton's #1 energy source.
This is Todd Griffin with your SportsEdge.com. Every Thursday morning in the 8 a.m. hour here on WPKY, we bring you the Sideline Report. This is your invitation to join us as we talk sports. Sometimes it's local sports, sometimes we talk about national sports news. We always have a guest, and you are always invited to listen. The Sideline Report is brought to you in part by ABC Finance, U-Ride, and Bashir Sawmill. I'll be looking for you to join us Thursday mornings at 8:05 for the Sideline Report. You can tune in on 1580, 103.3, or online at WPKYonline.com.
It is the dog days of summer. This is Pam Haverlock at Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique. Take advantage of our cool deals. Back to school is here, so we want to offer to all school employees and students 15% off, including special orders. We are totally revamping our women's boutique, so all clothes are marked at 75% off. Come see us at Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, located at 235 Northfield Drive, next to the bowling alley. Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, everything a home should be.
This is Hub. We are your local U-Haul dealer.
It's time for your SportsEdge.com Sideline Report with Todd Griffin. Talking sports and more here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Good morning, everyone. The Sideline Report is on the air from a rainy Princeton, 1035 West Main Street. Heard the weatherman say it might rain on the way into work today, and Ty, looks like they hit it.
The Weather Edge forecast was right on the money. Yeah. A lot of showers moving in from the lakes area and heading south. We've had rain on the radar about all morning, and we have a good continued chance throughout the afternoon. So
rain coming down now, but we got a big show to make up for it and make the day bright. Eli Pepper is in the studio with us this morning, getting ready to head overseas. Eli, thanks for coming in this morning, and congratulations on your new basketball gig.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And Daniel Cortner, Caldwell County volleyball coach, is in the studio with us this morning, and big start to your season.
So far, we're on a hot start.
Yeah. Again, I got a big show today, lots to get to on the show. Did see lightning earlier, though, so I think we're under a 30-minute delay. Is that how that works, Daniel?
Something like that. Let's go stand in the middle of a field and wait.
Again, lots to talk to on the Sideline Report. We're going to get to a break here and come back and talk with Eli Pepper and Daniel Cortner on the Sideline Report on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Need cash fast? Get the money you need. Call ABC Finance now.
Life doesn't always go as planned, and sometimes money is tight when you need it most.
At ABC Finance, we're here for you.
Hi, this is Jody Lamb at the Princeton ABC Finance location.
And this is Todd Morris at the Hopkinsville location.
And we can help you in a pinch, even if your credit is less than perfect.
At ABC Finance, we provide loans up to $15,000 and the individual attention to help you get your finances back on track.
We are locally owned and staffed, and decisions are made quickly, usually within an hour.
No appointment is needed. Walk-ins are welcome.
You can even give us a call, and we will take your application over the phone.
Or you can apply online at abcfinanceonline.com.
And like ABC Finance on Facebook.
ABC Finance in Hopkinsville on Fort Campbell Boulevard next to O'Charlie's and in Princeton Plaza. ABC Finance. All loans subject to normal credit approval.
West Kentucky Real Estate and Auction invites you to the auction house this Saturday, 24th, for an auction featuring furniture, antiques, and collectibles. Starting at 9 a.m., the outside sale will begin. Furniture will sell at noon. Come out this Saturday to the auction house on Highway 62 West in Princeton, the former Hancock's Grocery. West Kentucky Real Estate and Auction. Wayne Boyd, broker auctioneer. Find out about all upcoming auctions at westkentuckyrealestate.com.
Coming soon in the fall of 2019, a state-of-the-art memory care unit at Princeton Health and Rehab. This unit will have 38 available beds, its own dining and activity areas, which will include a multi-sensory snooze-lint room, a highly therapeutic environment for the purpose of delivering high levels of stimuli to patients with dementia. The highly desirable setting and space will fill up quickly. Please contact Angie Copeland today to secure your place. Call 270-705-0688.
We continue on the Sideline Report on a Thursday morning from 1580 103.3 WPKY. This is Todd Griffin in the WPKY studios. Ty Englebright sitting in on the show today, and we've got Eli Pepper and Daniel Cortner in here. And first of all, I want to mention about the Coach Barnes ceremony yesterday, a great ceremony and a great job done by everyone who spoke at that. And Eli, you played for Coach Barnes, and I talked about this a little bit earlier in the week, but what kind of memories do you have of Coach?
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand how close Coach Barnes and my family were. We were extremely close families, and he meant a ton to my family, and I know he did this community, and it stung with our family very, very bad. All my memories of him are awesome. Even the times he jumped in my grill and grabbed my face mask and had to talk me down to the level I should be at. He, as everybody said 1,000 times this week, people are probably tired of hearing it, but he always said, "I love you" as soon as he was done. And he left his mark on me, and that's something I hope I can pass down to hopefully kids that I coach one day and my kids and stuff like that. But yeah, as you said, the ceremony yesterday was awesome. I texted Tate after the ceremony and told him just thank you for what he just said. And I don't know if he'll ever understand the magnitude of what he said and what he did for that Barnes family. But it was truly appreciated by me.
Absolutely. I don't think everybody remembers that you played a lot of football, but you were on some of those really good teams.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun because of that man right there.
Yeah.
I had a lot of good friends that played on that team and very good players, but we weren't anything without Coach Barnes.
Now you're looking at playing some basketball, and how do you say it? Is it Glasgow? Is it Glasgow? We had a whole big thing one day about how you're supposed to say it.
I say Glasgow,
okay,
but maybe I'll learn when I get there next week.
What do you know about the team you're headed to?
Yeah, I know last year they had a rough start, and then they brought in new staff and some new management and stuff and kind of turned things around. And they finished 4th in the league, I'm pretty sure. But they're a good team. It's professional basketball, and it's grown men playing get the game who know the game. And a lot of kids after college in America turned down playing overseas. And so this is the people that love the game and know the game like it. So it's going to be a big jump for me. It'll be a different speed. European-style basketball is a different style of basketball. So it'll be a ton of fun.
I think that probably suits your game, though, the way they play over there.
I hope so. When you think of European-style players in the NBA, you think of Luka Doncic and Porzingis and people like that, or who are taller guys who can shoot the ball. and can handle the rock a little bit. And that's some stuff I got to work on, but I hope it does suit me. That'd be great.
I'll admit I didn't know there was a British basketball league before now. So
no, I didn't either. I admit it too.
That'll be interesting. And any idea who you'll be playing with, or
no,
anything?
No clue. I know the only person I've truly met is my roommate, Greg Pryor. He played at Chattanooga. We played against each other actually when I was down at Lipscomb. A very good player, very good kid. He played there last year and contributed a ton. He'll be a big help for me in slowing down the game and teach me things I need to know.
When do you head over there?
We're waiting on my visa to come back. It's been a hectic week, so I had to send my passport and stuff up to New York to get my visa back. So I'm just waiting on that, and then whenever I get that back, I'll text the gym and let them know and hopefully get a flight booked the next day.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be a lot of fun just to go over there and enjoy the culture a little bit too.
For sure, yeah. I think when I think about it, 10 months away from Princeton seems terrible. Like I love this place. That's my end-all be-all is come back here, but it'll be a huge experience for me, and I'll reap its rewards for sure.
Looking back, what are your thoughts on your just career there at Lipscomb with over 1,000 rebounds, over 900 points? I mean, that had to be a ton of fun.
Yeah, Lipscomb couldn't have been any better for me. I've never been more sure of a decision I've made in the past when I look back. I think I made a great decision. I tried to buy into a program where I thought I could go play, and they may not have had the best history at the Division I level, but I think we got there and turned it around. And, I was thinking this morning before I came here, like, what's my favorite memory ever from Lipscomb? And it had nothing to do with basketball. Like, we went to the Dominican on a mission trip, and I got to learn the true stories of my teammates and stuff and sit on a rooftop and spiritually learn from those guys. And that's why I think Lipscomb paid off for me so well, is because they made sure it wasn't all about basketball. We got to know our teammates, we got to know our coaches, we got to know the students around there, and it was a close-knit community just like it is here in Princeton, but in a bigger city in Nashville. And that's why I think it was such a good decision made.
Well, it was very evident the way you guys played last year, especially in the NIT, how close your team was.
Yeah, that's something we all took a ton of pride in. We all decided we were going to accept our roles, whether it was the star of the team or sitting on the bench or coaching from the bench or what it was. And I think that's something that showed off in our game. Like, every team that scouted us knew Garrison Matthews was our scorer. Mm-hmm. And at the Division I level, when you scout something, you can pretty well stop it anytime you want. But we just sat in our roles so well, teams couldn't stop Garrison Matthews. You couldn't do it. And then you got Rob Marbury, who can't use his right hand to save his life, and teams still couldn't stop him just because we knew our job every time was to get the ball to one of those two and let them go to work and work off them. And then if my role was told that it's going to be rebounding, that's what it was. I had no problem with that. It wasn't – none of us made it about ourselves, and it ended up being about our team, which is why we succeeded so well and went farther than people could have ever imagined.
Well, and that NIT run last year – when you miss the NCAA tournament, that can go a lot of ways. You know, that would deflate a lot of teams. But, man, you guys found something there and made a heck of a run, and you got to play at Madison Square Garden.
That's exactly right. It was a heartbreaker, and we kind of had a come-to-Jesus meeting after that, and our coaches looked at the seniors and told us, like, you're not ready to give this up playing with these guys beside you yet. And we definitely weren't ready, and so we let the world know that. I told a bunch of people when they asked about that run, I would go back and do that exact run and lose in the championship again and do it again, exactly how it was. It was that much fun. It meant that much to me. It's something I'll never, ever forget.
And what was it like to take the court there at Madison Square Garden? As they always say, the most famous arena in the world.
No doubt about it.
It's a weird feeling because you look up and there's banners of every famous name you've ever imagined that have been in there. And then, you think of all the people and the great games that have been played there, and then now you're part of it, But I told a bunch of my teammates when we were going out for the tip, you can't see past the first 3 rows of the seats. So it just feels kind of like a pickup game, like you're in your own gym.
Oh, really?
It's pitch black past the first 3 rows of the seats. Like you can't see anybody but the court and the goals and the bench. But it was a very neat feeling, very rewarding.
Maybe that's a good thing, though, that you couldn't take in all the history or the aura that was there.
Coach didn't have to take out the tape measure, did he, and measure the stripes?
Right.
He didn't have to do that,
no,
did he?
He didn't.
I didn't think he probably did.
It was more calming than I expected, for sure.
Well, and the year before that, you got to play in the NCAA tournament, got to play against North Carolina, and that had to be just amazing.
Yeah, it was. We got treated like kings there for a week. Like, we got treated like a high major Division I for a little bit, and it was extremely cool and nice. And our team thought nothing would be better than going to the NCAA tournament. And I may be on the side of the NIT just because it was longer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I may, just because it was a longer run. We didn't play a super high Division I where nobody was for us, you know, and we got to travel all over the country in the NIT. But that experience was cool. We went at halftime. I don't remember how much we were down. I want to say it was under 10 or something like that. And just being in that locker room, down 10 in North Carolina, under 10 was like, oh, this could happen. We could be that team. You know, they were too much at the end of 40 minutes for us. But, it was – what an experience. I'm so blessed and thankful.
Had to be wild just to run down the court and look over there and see Roy Williams a little bit.
Oh, it was unbelievable. I mean,
just kind of look over there, that's Roy Williams over there.
It was unbelievable.
Well, and I was going to ask you about the NCAA tournament, but maybe the NIT too. What is something about either one of those that maybe the people watching on TV don't know about, or something that happened to you guys, the way you were treated?
I think the biggest difference for me in the NIT and the NCAA tournament than like the regular season was like our media timeouts in the regular season are a lot shorter than they are in the NCAA tournament, because like the NCAA tournament always obviously has a lot more commercials.
It's like 4 minutes or something.
It's unbelievable. So our timeouts were like a whole break. Like, we got to go sit down, have a water. You talked about what you're going to do, and then you were just kind of chilling with your team and stuff. And so you feel in those tournaments, I feel like younger, like you always see the Cinderella teams, and they always perform better because they're that much more rested. Like, they're not used to that. And I think that's a huge contributor to why there's always a Cinderella story in March Madness and stuff like that. I think there's one thing that people at home probably don't notice or see. I would say that was the biggest thing for me, for sure.
That's what I used to say at UK games that used to be on ESPN, and you go to one of those, and every time out, I'm like, they could show an episode of Sports Center during this time out.
No doubt about it.
We've got Eli Pepper in the studio today. Daniel Cortner is here with us. Ty Englebright sitting in. And Daniel, what's next for you guys?
We're going to go up to Louisville this weekend to play Holy Cross in presentation. It's a match we got hooked up with a couple of years ago, so it's a good early season test to get up with a couple of private schools and see where we rank. So
I'm guessing both of those schools pretty good again?
They are pretty good. Presentation's been hit really hard with some graduation last year, so that we're going to have to see how they reloaded. Got a chance to watch them up at Bluegrass games, so they've got another good, strong defensive core, and that's returning. So hadn't got to see Holy Cross yet.
Well, and that's one of those trips that you take to kind of get your kids seen a little bit too, right?
It is. We jumped all over that. I got an email a couple of years ago, and they just, hey, we're looking for a fourth team to fill out a quad match. And my immediate reply back was we would be honored if we could get the time change and the logistics of it worked out. And they told me that we could play as late as we needed to. That they remembered us from Class A. They remembered us as being a scrappy bunch, and they wanted to play a non-Louisville team because we play the game so different.
We've mentioned this before, but Caldwell County is still the only public school to win any kind of state championship in volleyball, right?
Correct, and only one of 2 or 3 to even be in the finals of any.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's a pretty big deal right there.
Right. It's a very respected program from one end of the state to the other, and even outside of Kentucky in a few places.
You guys are off to a 2-0 start, playing pretty well.
We are. You never know how things are going to go from practice speed to game speed. So Monday there's so much anxiety around Monday dealing with was it Class A, the play-in game, and first game and home. Those 3 things always bring nerves for the girls, and we had them all 3 on the same night. So looking back, I'm kind of glad all 3 of them are done.
And the All-A Classic this year is a little unique because you've got that one game, and then the rest of the regional is September 4th at Fort Campbell, and you're going to play the semifinals and hopefully the championship on the same night.
Yeah, when Caldwell's in it, there's an odd number of teams, so to speak. So we kind of have to have that play-in game, and we can't have all 3 games, all the games on one night. It's just too much. So they play it off-site before, and then we'll have Fort Campbell. We'll play the host, who is in a coaching transition after their first game already. So that we're kind of eager to get down there and get September 4th. We know that.
The good thing about the All-A bracket this year, and it just kind of fell this way, is that the two favorites are probably Caldwell and UHA, and you guys are at least on the opposite side of the bracket.
Right. It never fails that the two favorites always meet in the semis of whatever round we're in. So that kind of changes the dynamics of the week. But UHA is coming into the season, the preseason #1 team in the region. They were kind of hurt the least by graduation across us and Henderson and UHA. So it's very well deserved to give them the preseason. They're a very quality team. And I think we match up well with them.
UHA, not just in the All-A Classic, but apparently they're one of the teams to beat in the second region this year.
Exactly. Well, they were in the finals last year with Henderson, and I believe, I was thinking the other day, 3 out of the last 5 years they've been a region runner-up. So, and that's a testament to the program that's being built over in Hopkinsville.
Well, and we've talked about the second region kind of being a 3-horse race this year, throwing Henderson in there with you guys and UHA.
Well, Henderson's still the 4-time defending champion. You're never going to get that out of the way. So if you want to look at who's favorite, you've got to start with them, in my opinion. Coach Ashley gives that program so much poise, and she's so well at game management, and they've been there. They've played 3 or 4 extra games every year up in Louisville in high pressure situations, and when you get to a pressure situation, when you come back, you're a better team. You're a much sharper team. So she's had those situations that we haven't. So I'll always start with Henderson being team #1 in that situation.
Well, and one of the big questions I always get is about the All-A Classic, because it's a little confusing that you've got the regional tournament for one thing, and then you've got the regional tournament at the end of the year, and I think it's a little confusing for people. I mean, it's just two different things, but it can be confusing.
Right. Well, I see it as an advantage because we get that pressure situation September 4th, and then if you win in advance of that, where you're headed to Richmond to go play at EKU, and get to see that venue and get to play other region winners who have been in a survive in advance situation. So we're tested early season. And I think that experience plays well for us in the end of October sometimes.
Well, I don't want to put the pressure on you guys, but you did talk bad about my St. Louis Cardinals. So you guys have never lost in the All-A. I mean, that's in the regional, and your record at state is pretty doggone good too.
Well, the thing that helps you up at state is you can really only lose once. So that side, once you get out of pool play, that side of the bracket doesn't hurt you too bad. But they'll put you in a pool of 4 teams, so you have 3 matches, and then the top 2 teams go to gold, go to championship flight. The other 2 go to a consolation flight. And I know my first year up there, we won that second flight. So it would have put us in the top, and we were essentially ranked 9th. So our record up there, we've always had a good pool. We've always matched up well with our pool teams and things like that. And you're almost playing until you meet a St. Henry or Newport Catholic or some of those higher ranking private schools.
And one of the other things that's kind of confusing about the All-A is some years we're in it and some years Caldwell County's not in it. So that's kind of tough to keep up with too.
I've yet to get a definitive answer from anyone on who ranks, how ranks. It was supposed to be a 2-year census, and then it went yearly. They don't announce it until March, so people's schedules are usually made. But what they've always said is they'll take about the the lowest admission of 200, 215, somewhere in there. And if that school anywhere in it wants to play a single A school, a single A sport, then they hold a spot. And somewhere in the state, I think there's a school that's got about 3 kids, and one of them plays golf. So they take a spot. And you always kind of wonder, how can we clean this up? How can I get an answer so I know what I'm cleaning up, and things along those? But it's the only opportunity a small school is going to get in the state of Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea of the All-A Classic, and I don't want to get way off topic here, but honestly, if we just had classes, that would take care of all that.
This past season, after the almighty Assumption had come through and beat Henderson in the state, Coach Ashley came walking by me and she said, where can I get support for classification? And I said, start with me. You've got 2,400 kids, and Caldwell County has 600. So, I'd support you however you need it.
Well, and Eli, maybe you can talk about that from just a competition standpoint. It's always tough when a Caldwell County goes against a Christian county or Madisonville or somebody like that.
Yeah, no, it was always it was always hard coming from football season to basketball season here, and because not that we're sitting there saying we have no shot, but we're sitting there saying, well, like Call County, like I hope we're in the All-A this year.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring home a trophy, and Region 2 is a hard region to get out of in Kentucky in basketball. And in football, you know every year that you're going to be the favorite, and you're going to prepare like you're the favorite, and that leads to days in basketball where you know you're not the favorite, and you know you haven't played the teams from other regions that like Dunbar and all those, and Newport Catholic, they're a small school, but I'm definitely an advocate for classification. I think it's helped our program in football so much, and you know it's like the coaching job here is it's a prestigious job to have in Kentucky for football now, and if you want to look at the sports that aren't classified, those coaching jobs aren't as prestigious or are going to have as many applicants and stuff like that, just because we've never really had a shot. You know, like Caldwell's best basketball team ever was region runners-up.
We had one region champion. Actually, the county had a pretty good run there because Fredonia won one year in the late 50s, and then Princeton Dotson won it once in the early 60s, and Caldwell County won it the next year. Of course, that was the Smith group and all of those guys coming through, and consolidation just happened to hit at the right time for Caldwell County to get, what was a really good Princeton Dotson team. That ended up at Caldwell County the next year, and so that was 1963, 64.
Yeah. So,
no, but I'm definitely an advocate for classes.
And in football, I mean, you guys, like you said, going into the season, if you had a pretty good team, you're a legitimate state contender in your class.
Yeah, you're going to prepare for it every day, like because you know it's tangible. You can reach it.
When they've taken Scott County and split it in half and made Scott County and Great Crossings, and both of them are still twice our size.
Yeah.
and vying for championships every year.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're up there each and every year. So, yeah, it would have to be toff.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to take our conversation in the All-A thing, but we've got into that before.
It's got to be debated, Todd.
Somebody's got to have the conversation.
You're listening to the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Eli Pepper, Daniel Cortner, and Ty Englebright in here with us this morning. Need to get to a break, but we'll have more after this on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Scattered showers today, about a 60% chance. Some could produce heavy rainfall, mostly cloudy otherwise, a high near 85. Tonight, those showers and thunderstorms continue, an 80% chance, low down to 69, and then showers and thunderstorms are likely in the morning on Friday, otherwise cloudy. Could see some showers pop up in the afternoon as well Friday. Rain chance is 70% and a high near 82. Friday night, looks like clearing out, 40% chance, a low down to 63. Again for today, watch out for those thunderstorms developing, about a 60% chance with a high of 85.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Bella Marie Boutique, now with 3 locations, Princeton, Hopkinsville, and now open in Madisonville. Follow Bella Marie on Instagram and Facebook.
Get spruced up with quality mulch from Bashir Sawmill on Dawson Road in Princeton. We all know that buying mulch by the truckload saves money, and it's only $25 per load for dark natural mulch at Bashir Sawmill on Dawson Road, 1/2 mile past City County Park. Bashir Sawmill also buys standing timber and timberland. Give them a call today, 270-365-2330. That's Bashir Sawmill, family owned and operated in Princeton for over 50 years.
It's all at your fingertips now at WPKYonline.com. Local video, local news, local sports, local weather information, and of course, contests. Plus, you can listen to us on your smart device. Just click the Listen Now button. We've made it easier to find your favorite information. WPKYonline.com.
We continue on the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Eli Pepper, Daniel Cortner, Ty Englebright all with us this morning. And since we brought it up on the classification thing, I've got one more thing. And Eli was just talking about it, about how great the Sweet 16 is and everything. And it is. It's awesome, no doubt. Mm-hmm. I've always thought, though, if you had 4 classes in basketball, you could take the Final 4 to Lexington and still do your Sweet 16.
Yeah.
So you don't really lose anything. You just open it up to some new people.
The joy about the program being so messed up is there's so many better fixes. You can't give me a bad idea right now.
Well, and the thing I always come back to is,
there's 48 states that classify sports. There's 2 that don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to me, that's the clue that, hey, maybe classification's good. And the other state that doesn't is Delaware,
Yep.
which has 1/3 as many schools as
Yep.
Kentucky.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my little soapbox on classification.
Preach it, my man. That's what we do here on the Sideline Report, right? There's no doubt about it. And his phone is blowing up right as we debate this
I
stuff.
always get one of those anytime we talk about classification, but it comes back to who you talk to in the state, and I think this is why it's never happened, is that if you talk to anybody from a smaller community or a smaller school, well, sure, they're in favor of classification because, you know, it gives them a chance to compete. It's a good thing. If you're talking to the larger schools, it's a non-issue for them because when they're good, they can compete for state championships. When they're not going to anyway, so it's just simply not an issue for them, and the larger schools are the ones that have the greater voice and are the ones that make the decisions.
Mm-hmm. The ones that I talk to in other states, they might complain a little because they have to travel more. You know, if you make them if you classify,
well, and that's an argument. Again,
you're making McCracken travel pretty far to get somebody their size.
And that's always the thing we hear is the travel, but then when you look at some of the other things they do, like baseball and softball this year with the sectionals, everybody had to travel more there than what it used to be. I mean, so I don't know. That's
Didn't I hear something a couple years ago when we went back to 2A, just looking ahead at maybe the playoff schedule, we were going to have to do a little bit more traveling if we, like, you know, way up. We've been to Greene County before, and we've been up there, but wasn't there something about how things lined up, or that we were just going to have to do some more games further away?
Well, it became difficult for Caldwell County to put together a football schedule because there aren't as many schools, you know, in like size in our area.
Right.
So you have to go off to try to find people to play.
And want to play you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the big thing, I think, that they had trouble was, you know, not everybody wanted to play us.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, when you're really good, it becomes more difficult to find people.
That's exactly right.
But again, Eli Pepper is here with us, Daniel Cortner, Ty Englebright, a full show. And Eli, we talked about it earlier, but I think we can go back to it. For a 6'9" guy that can shoot the ball, I think you're going to a good place to play basketball. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I got a lot of competition over there. I mean, all those guys are big kids that can shoot, you know. And I think one thing that I really, really have to work on is ball handling, because I think over there I'm not going to be playing with my back to the basket very much like as I did here, and that hurt me my first 2 years down in Nashville. But I think if I can get that under control, I can be a contributor on this team, and we can make a difference in the league this year and have a season that they've never had there before. Do you have any Glasgow Rocks T-shirts or anything yet? No. I know. I found out they are selling our jerseys though online, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, I want my own jersey.
I'm hoping he can express us some really good fish and chips or something. That's what I'm hoping for. Maybe, you know, is what I'm hoping. Hey, get a direct line to Eli for some really good fish and chips that he can ship overnight.
That's
or something.
right. Well, how does the opportunity to play in Scotland come about? So we had, before the season, Casey pulled the seniors aside and said that we have an opportunity not a lot of people get, and he kind of broke it down how it's going to happen, and like it's so much different now than it used to be in the past. I guess I never thought about it, but throughout the whole season, you have these random people from all over the world, like private messaging you on social media, and like it's broken English. You have no clue what they're saying. Really? Oh man, it's terrible. But it was because I roomed with Garrison, and it was really cool watching the difference between his story and mine, like with an agent come about. But we found out you have to get an agent first, and so it's kind of like getting recruited in high school. You get a pool of people who you like, and then you meet with them, you call them, you talk to them all the time, and you figure out the pros and cons of this guy, and this guy, and then you break it down, and you just make a decision. You commit to somebody pretty much, and that's how it happened to me. But it was, I would wake up at 6 in to Garrison being on the phone with different agents and stuff. It was unbelievable. This guy just got bombarded, and then.
Did Jerry Maguire ever call you?
No.
I just wondered if he did.
No, but that's kind of how it came about, and then I had to put together a highlight tape, which was pretty short, and we sent it out, and he got back to me pretty quick, and my agent told me that it's a good spot for me to be in. We were very shocked that it happened this soon. I wasn't supposed to be signed at the end of July, and it was early June that I got signed. So that's how it came about, and I felt comfortable. I thought the culture was about as close to America as I'm going to get. I'm not crazy far from home, but I got an opportunity to play a professional sport, and they speak English, even though it's going to be very hard to still understand. And I know one of my buddies is Brian Mullins, coaches at SIU, and through the grapevine I heard that him and my coach at the Rocks played together overseas, and so I got very comfortable with who I'm going to be coached up by over there and stuff. So I think
he'll need an extra long kilt.
Yeah.
I think. I can't wait to see Eli in the kilt, man.
That's right.
That's awesome.
It'd be interesting if those were the uniforms,
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they'll have their dress kilt, when the team travels, they'll just come off the plane or the bus and they'll have their dress kilts on.
Yeah.
And a nice blazer.
Well, one question I always have is about the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys get like a humongous book of like rules that everything you can do, where you can eat, where you can not eat, who you can talk to, who you can not talk to?
Every year before the first day of school, you go to all your first classes, and then that night you have a 4 to 5 hour meeting it's a compliance meeting. It's every team, every person in this one room, and this teacher just goes over every single rule. It's just a slideshow, and they just read straight off of it, and it's miserable. But it can save you. It can keep you out of a lot of trouble, and it can kind of keep you on track. I mean, there's things that you would never imagine were up there. Like we had a kid. I think he's a baseball player or something at Lipscomb, but he started a lawn mowing business, and you cannot use your likeness, your image, your name, or nothing. And he used his, and he didn't get in any trouble, but that was like one of their examples and stuff. And it was just there's more to it than you think, and it sucks, but it keep you out of a lot of trouble.
Well, as a college basketball player, according to the NCAA, if you're on scholarship, can you even have a job or anything?
You can. You can't use your likeness or image, like I said. I don't really remember many of the rules because, golly, I was wanting to go to sleep in those meetings. But no, you can't. It's hard if you got time to have a job and you're a Division I basketball player. That's shocking to me because it seems like you're almost in there 40 hours a week doing something, and like counting school and everything. So it'd be hard. One of my teammates had a job in the summer. He did food catering is what he did, and it was hard on him even in the summer, which you only get 4 hours a week in summer to be in basketball, but it was still hard on him.
Well, and the NCAA did at least limit practices a little bit. So that had to help out too.
Yeah, it was different because the summer was a big difference for me. My freshman year and sophomore year, you got 3 hours a week. So on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we'd have a 40-minute workout or something like that. And then my senior year, it changed to 4. So on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we had an hour. And it's still not long, but basketball's a long season. It goes fall to, it goes all the way to March, April. And you're sitting there in the summer like, this is my time off. And then here we are going an hour practice. Like it was tough. It was different.
You mentioned earlier that you'd be staying pretty close to the team over in Glasgow.
Yeah, I'll be living with a teammate, and then it's funny because I downloaded Google Earth, and I've been like going over Glasgow a bunch lately. But I'm within walking distance of the arena. I'm really close to downtown Glasgow. I'm in a good spot.
That'll be good. Congratulations on a great career. Man, that's going to be fun getting to play some professional basketball.
It'll be fun to follow Eli and just I know his mom and dad and whoever. I know they're travelers. They're going to probably be. Is any chance that Chad and Michelle get to fly across the pond and watch basketball?
I can't wait.
That's
to see
a cool
them there.
thing. And so, what an awesome experience. And
Thank
just congratulations. It's going to be a great experience for you. I know.
Thank you. It means the world.
Eli Pepper is with us today. Daniel Cortner's here. Todd Englebright, thanks for sitting in today.
Thanks for having me, Todd.
We've got a top 5. Do we want to?
I don't know if we can, put these guys through it or not. But yeah, we got one. But that's up to you, whether we reveal it or not.
All right. Well, we've got to take a break. We'll talk about it during the commercial. And we'll come back. More on the Sideline Report after this on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Scattered showers today, about a 60% chance. Some could produce heavy rainfall, mostly cloudy otherwise, a high near 85. Tonight, those showers and thunderstorms continue, an 80% chance, low down to 69. And then showers and thunderstorms are likely in the morning on Friday, otherwise cloudy. Could see some showers pop up in the afternoon as well Friday. Rain chance is 70% and a high near 82. Friday night looks like clearing out 40% chance, a low down to 63. Again, for today, watch out for those thunderstorms developing. About a 60% chance with a high of 85.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Community Medical. Tuesday night is soccer night on WPKY. Join us for live coverage this Tuesday night on 1580 103.3 WPKY, worldwide at WPKYonline.com and on your free WPKY app. This Tuesday night, the Caldwell County Lady Tigers host the Madisonville North Hopkins Lady Maroons at Butler Field. Airtime around 6:45. Tuesday night means it's Caldwell County Soccer Night on 1580 103.3 WPKY, worldwide at WPKYonline.com and on your free WPKY app.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
There's an advantage in being the home team. You know who Emma Talley, Jake Lewis, and Pat Gates are. You've seen the wall around Butler Stadium and have heard of the Caldwell Crazies. Trice Hughes. We're your home team. Here's our home team deal of the week.
A 2016 Chevy Malibu. Kelley Blue Book suggested price is $15,079. Trice priced at $13,500.
Get this home team deal of the week at Trice Hughes. Find us on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or tricehughes.com.
Back on the Sideline Report on 1580 103.3 WPKY. Eli Pepper, Daniel Cortner, Ty Englebright in the studio with us, and we are going to run through our top 5 really quickly because we've been keeping everybody waiting, and after a month of suspense, there's no way this can live up to the hype. But
no way.
It's our favorite TV characters of all time. I'm going to start it off. Got an honorable mention for Dale Gribble and Rusty Shackelford
from
my goodness.
King
of the Hill.
Oh, my goodness.
And Adrian Monk. I miss Monk on USA Network.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool character there.
My number 5 is Ed Norton from The Honeymooners.
Norton! I love it. Yeah, I mean, how do you not put Jackie Gleason on there? Everything.
Well, but Norton, the other character.
Oh, you got Art Carney's character. You said Ed. No, Ed. Okay, okay. Yeah. I mean, pretty good Ralphie boy. That's Ed. Yeah, that's a good character.
And Jackie Gleason's great too.
Yeah, hey, Art Carney. He kind of made Jackie Gleason's. Well, I've got some honorable mention as well. I've got Reuben Kincaid. He was the manager of the Partridge Family.
Yeah,
he also made
on that one.
He also made the birthday list this morning as well. Chin Ho from Hawaii Five-0 and Sergeant Vince Carter from Gomer Pyle. He was on my honorable mention. But at number 5, I've got a tie here between Steve McGarrett of Hawaii Five-0, I'm a big Hawaii Five-0 fan, and Flo from Alice, Kiss My Grits.
Yes, absolutely. My number 4 is going to show just what a geek I am, or a dork, or whatever we call them nowadays. I've got Spock from Star Trek.
No, that's a really good one. Yeah. I put Fonzie.
That's not bad.
Hey, I could help it.
My number 3 is Fred G. Sanford from Sanford and Son, the greatest TV show ever, maybe.
See, I grew up in Florida until about 1981, and I had the old antenna I had to go out and spin. I couldn't get an NBC station. That was an NBC show, so I just had CBS and ABC. So I'm going with Hawkeye Pierce from MASH.
That's a good one.
My number 3. Yep.
My number 2 is Homer Simpson.
Very good.
Maybe the greatest show ever. I'm going to keep saying that as I go along.
Yeah, that's a hard one not to. Was that your number 2?
That was number 2, yes.
Yeah, okay. I've got a tie for number 2 from one of my favorite shows of all time, from Gunsmoke. Festus and Matt Dillon are tied.
All right.
Ken Curtis, you can't beat Festus.
So we're up to number 1. That was quick.
Yep.
That's the quickest top 5
we
ever.
got to hear these guys because they threw a couple out. We got to hear. Now let's go to Daniel. He said he stopped at where?
About the only one I came up with was Alf.
He stopped at Alf.
That's a good one, though.
That's a good one, though.
That's a great one. And do you remember his neighbor?
Oh, man. No.
Was it Mrs. Oxmonic? Was that how you say it?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, guys.
I was not
Nobody watched
Alf. Again, I was not an Alf guy. Yeah. And Eli is generational here. What about your character?
My 1 through 5 is SpongeBob.
I can't
That's a great list.
I can't argue with that.
Any honorable mention? Is that SpongeBob too?
Yeah.
No, Patrick.
There you go.
Okay, Todd, reveal your number ones.
Well, anybody that knows me knows this is my number one. You could probably spit it out yourself. It's James T. Kirk.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be your number one, and I don't blame you because
I had to.
Yeah, you just had to, and whether it's the William Shatner version of James T. Kirk or the John Belushi version of James T. Kirk, and they're both pretty good, right?
Yes.
My number one. I've got a tie here. They're kind of the same character, but they're kind of not the same character. Archie Bunker and George Jefferson.
Yes.
They kind of are,
and basically from the same show originally.
Yeah, that's right. They both kind of came from the same show. The Jeffersons kind of spun off of All in the Family, but very similar characters. So
that was a fascinating top five.
Yeah,
yes.
I think so. There's a lot more characters that can be on here, though. Nobody put Andy Griffith.
No.
Nobody put Barney Fife.
Gilligan
on there. Columbo, McLeod. I mean, the list goes on.
Oh, yeah. We could sit here and do a top 100. Maybe that's next week's show.
And my favorite, Barnaby Jones. You just got that for the name.
So that's our top five.
Yep.
All right.
He's stunned. He didn't know what else to say, and he's got 10 minutes. Oh, my goodness.
Going to go home and fire up Hulu now.
He might.
We're joined this morning by Eli Pepper, Daniel Cortner, Ty Englebright, and football coming up Friday. Want to get everybody's thoughts on that. The Tigers hosting Christian County, and it's going to be an interesting night at Tiger Stadium. It's going to be strange not having Coach Barnes on the sideline. It's going to be a tough night for the Tigers, but you know what, guys? I think Caldwell County is going to come out and just play a heck of a game Friday night. Yeah, I really hope I get to go. In the last 4 years, I haven't been to many Caldwell County football games. That's something that my soul longs for. That's one of the best days of the year is getting to go out to a home game in Caldwell County. You're right; it will be weird without Coach Barnes, but I think these kids got a good message from Coach Franklin last night, and it's their turn to start writing Coach Barnes' movie, and I think it's it's a big thing that this community kind of may forget about is these kids and what they've been through. This senior class especially. I mean, they've lost two teammates. Now they've lost their head coach. I feel like these kids have a good core, and they'll be able to bond together and write this the exact way Coach Barnes would want it to. And I think it'll be a really, really cool environment Friday night, and I really hope I get to be there. Well, and without Coach Barnes, it's I think a lot of people are probably writing off the team this year anyway. It's down, or they don't have this player or that player anymore. But I know one thing: those coaches out there, they always take great offense when people say the team's going to be down. After the Elijah Sindelar and Jalen Boyd team, everybody thought, well, the team's going to be down, but it wasn't. And then when Shane Burns stopped being quarterback, and everybody's like, well, it's going to be down, and it wasn't. Exactly right. So,
we've been hearing that for the past 6 years, and it's not. And that's what's so great, Todd. And you talk about that coaching staff. Enough can't be said about those guys. So well respected, all of them. They all fed off Coach Barnes. They loved him. They loved each other. I mean, there's a reason why they were all together all those years. And I don't know of any other – there's some wonderful football programs I know across the state, across West Kentucky, but you look at that coaching staff, those core of men that have and Eli, my son, they have formulated and molded many young men, not only on the football field, but off the football field. And that's what I think is something that we can't deny is the influence that these coaches have on our young men and the whole school system when they're walking around, those that teach, Coach McGowan, Coach Mack, inside the school building, Coach Barnes. There wasn't a child out there in that high school that Coach Barnes didn't know by name. That's and right. They didn't have to play football. He knew all of them, and he talked to them, and he made all of them feel special when he came across them, and all those guys do. When my son was out there, he would be mad about something or upset about something playing ball, and I go, you find Coach Barnes or you find Coach McClung, and you talk to them about it. And, I'm sure it kept him out of a lot of trouble because you just can't say enough. And that's what we have here in Caldwell County, I think, that's so special.
I'm just been stunned by all the remembrances and the recognition. And if you looked on social media over the weekend, it was just, I mean, every other post was about Coach Barnes from people all over the state. And I know Coach Steve Lovelace from Christian County was, you know, a big friend of Coach Barnes. And so it'll be tough for Christian County coming over here Friday night trying to play a game. But going to be an interesting contest. When you start looking at the game, Christian County lost a lot from last year. Caldwell County graduated a bunch of seniors last year, so both teams are going to have guys that are going both ways, which is kind of unique, I think, for both of them.
Exactly, and that's one thing that we talked about with some of the coaching staff on, I think, the last time some of the coaches were in here, was the fact that, when they love to hurry up that offense and get it rolling, but when you have guys going both ways, that sort of changes the dynamic. When they've been out there and you got on offense and you're moving down the field, but yet you've had some players out there on defense and they're huffing and puffing and not been able to regain their lungs and their legs a little bit. It's a different dynamic for this Caldwell County football team.
Absolutely. It'll be a little different, but I think when you start looking at matchups and things, if you start starters versus starters, Caldwell County's got a pretty good team this year. It's just not much depth out there.
Yeah, I know that sort of saw a look of that over at the scrimmage. And, in Madisonville, the first team, pretty much toe-to-toe and score for score. But then when we kind of had to get into some of the bench a little bit, you could kind of see, a little bit of difference there. But what I like, these kids are going to be inspired. They're going to play their hearts out. The coaching staff is going to do the best they can to have them ready to play. And it's, it's going to be a tough season. But it's going to be a season, I think, these kids and the coaches and the whole community will rally around and really make it special.
For sure. And everyone in the WKC will be wearing the Barn Strong decal. How special is that going to be?
Yeah, I saw that post from Kobe Lewis on social media, and I think there's 1,172 decals will be on the back of helmets. And what a tribute to a wonderful man and coach, and to know that all the young men in the WKC, when they take the field, will have that Barn Strong decal on the back of their helmets. That's special.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I think we'll see the Barn Strong message for a long time to come, because everybody loved Coach. Coach was just the best. Yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing, the decal thing, because it's all it takes is one kid to ask their coach, "Hey, what's Barn Strong mean?" And that that's Coach Barnes' legacy living on, just through a little decal. And I think that's awesome. I loved seeing that on Twitter the other day. And hopefully we get out to Tiger Stadium Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. Hopefully the place is just absolutely packed.
Yep. No doubt about it, and I think it will be. I think everybody's excited. I'm really excited about this team. I don't know why. It's been a couple years since my son had played. I was out there every night as a part of the radio station. I was out there part of the broadcast. I missed a little bit of football last year, and I missed that. I have that longing to be back out there. I didn't get every game last year, but I hope to this year. And would encourage everybody to come out and be part of something special, which is Caldwell County Tiger football.
You're listening to the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Do want to tell you about Dave's Deal of the Week at U-Ride in Princeton. It's a 2010 Dodge Caliber. Blue in color. See Dave for details at U-Ride in Princeton. That's U-Ride 310 Marion Road, Princeton. Telephone 270-365-3215. Be sure to ask about Dave's Deal of the Week. And we thank you for joining us on the Sideline Report today. Daniel Cortner with us, Eli Pepper, Ty Englebright. Daniel, do want to mention that you guys in action again. When's the next home match coming up?
We'll be home next Tuesday against Christian Fellowship. It's our only Tuesday night home game. So Christian Fellowship School is a very young and up and coming team over there, with Abigail Sema gonna power them. And then we'll be just about every Thursday for the rest of the season. We'll have a home game every Thursday.
And we will be broadcasting those games
Volleyball
right here.
Thursday.
Yes, on 1580, 103.3. So that'll be great.
And you can quickly go on YouTube and YouTube Lady Tiger Volleyball and find a couple of the old broadcasts. And Coach Stone she's a natural behind the mic. So it's a good fun game to listen to her.
I say this every time you're on, but volleyball matches are so much fun.
They are.
We need to have a volleyball match sometime where the Cab Gym is absolutely packed.
It brings so much athleticism and so much power and speed to an athletic event, and it's fast. When I go back and I break down film and I cut down the times, where you're chasing the ball back on the court or, in between dead balls and things, I can take about a 30 or 45-minute game and break it down to about 19 minutes. And it's so fast, and just the speed of it, it still inspires me to want to try to go play, and I'm well past those days.
Stick with the volleyball for you, man.
Stick with a suit and tie.
And Eli, good luck over in Glasgow.
Thank you. Yeah,
tell us how you're supposed to say it, though. Or is it
Glasgow?
I think they say Glasgow over
Just
there.
keep the fish and chips coming.
I'll figure it out for you, yeah.
Keep the fish and chips coming.
And I don't think everybody realizes maybe that Eli wasn't just basketball. We talked football, also played baseball.
Yes,
so
sir.
When you say former Tiger, right there.
I'd say pretty good athlete.
Yeah.
He kind of runs in his family, though.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Tried to be.
Congratulations, man.
Thank
it's
you.
just a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it means a lot.
Appreciate you guys all coming in today, and, man, I hope we can all get together again sometime and talk sports.
Yes, sir.
That's Eli Pepper, Daniel Cortner. Ty, thanks for sitting in today. I really
Thanks
appreciate it.
for inviting me.
That's going to wrap it up on the Sideline Report for this Thursday. This is Todd Griffin of WPKY Radio and YourSportsEdge.com. Thanks for listening to the Sideline Report on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Scattered showers today, about a 60% chance. Some could produce heavy rainfall, mostly cloudy otherwise, a high near 85. Tonight, those showers and thunderstorms continue, an 80% chance, low down to 69, and then showers and thunderstorms are likely in the morning on Friday, otherwise cloudy. Could see some showers pop up in the afternoon as well Friday. Rain chance is 70% and a high near 82. Friday night, looks like clearing out, 40% chance, a low down to 63. Again, for today, watch out for those thunderstorms developing, about a 60% chance with a high of 85.